technically it still comes back to haunt me now because I still can't get a credit card in my name.
How would you describe your relationship with money in one word?
Complicated. I don't like to keep money in my current account.
Okay.
A hobby of mine at the moment is just scrolling through Timu.
Did you choose the passion or choose the money?
I didn't choose either. When school finished, I hadn't even applied for a college. It was, you have to do something, you're not going to be a bum. I don't need someone to give me £10 million, but you get rid of my mortgage and my monthly mortgage payments, I live a completely different lifestyle. Most people have probably downloaded Trading 212, looked at it and gone, bloody hell, what does this mean? You know, there's guys at work that have started investing in McDonald's and they're losing money. It's like, you're investing in McDonald's because you like eating McDonald's, not because they're going to make money, you know. I used to have a lot of anxiety over money, that coupled in with things that happened a very long time ago. With my mum, she took out a load of credit in my name.
Right.
When I was younger. So I got told by the companies that started contacting me that it happens more often than you'd believe.
Has that relationship kind of been patched up over the years?
It took a massive hit at the time. One of the things that's really helped patch that relationship up was when Rosh got pregnant.
What is that one piece of golden money advice you'd share to others?
So I wish someone had said this to me.
So Dan, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
You're very welcome.
As you know, there's a little list I've given you to run
Yes.
through just to introduce yourself. Can you just go through that to start with?
Yep, absolutely. So my name's Dan. I'm 33. I have a mortgage. I work in the marine industry and I'm a production manager in the marine industry. I would say that my salary is a bit better than good.
Okay.
And I have one child.
Lovely stuff. So Dan, it's the big question to start with. How would you describe your relationship with money in one word?
Complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Okay. Expand on that one.
So I used to have a lot of anxiety over money, and I guess I still do a little bit. Like I said, I'm on a pretty good wage, and my partner also works. But you still find yourself sort of like making sure the money's always going to be there. You know, especially in the modern age, you find yourself constantly checking your bank, making sure that you haven't gone too far, making sure what you've budgeted for is there. And also that coupled in with things that happened a very long time ago when I was trying to move out.
Right.
So,
Okay. And was it a big incident that kind of gave you that anxiety?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think before that, I was very much, you know, money's money. I'm going to spend it. Can't take it with me. But after that, I've been very sort of money conscious in periods. There are times when we've had money and we've spent it. And there are times when we've had money and haven't spent it and then needed it, sort of thing. So I think, especially once you've got your own house and everything just keeps hitting you, you know, whether it's the washing machine, the fridge, or the wheelbarrow on your car.
Yeah. That sounds like a recent...
Yes, it was.
Yeah, a recent burn.
Yeah, very recent burn.
And you mentioned there that you're sort of checking the banking app all the time. Are you checking every day? Is that your habit?
No, not every day. But I'll check it around the time that I know that. So I know the days that all my direct debits go out.
Yeah.
Like from all completely committed to memory. Every single day, every single direct debit down to, you know, something like Disney Plus. I know what day everything's going out. And I will check on that day to make sure that that money is in the account and that money goes from the account. And because what I don't want to do is be in a situation where it hasn't gone out and the money's there, then I spend it and then it can't go out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So all of my wages get paid into our joint savings account. So I don't like to keep money in my current account.
Okay.
So I move it to my current account when I need it so that the temptation isn't there to just spend it.
Okay, interesting. And is that because you've got like that temptation within you? Is it like if it's there, I'm just spending it?
Without a doubt.
Really?
Like a hobby of mine at the moment is just scrolling through Timu. Like
Looking for what? Looking for anything in particular?
anything.
Really?
Literally anything. So we're going to a fantasy ball next year.
Yeah.
And I'm currently compiling a pirate costume. And I've brought bits from Timu for it. And
Right.
now the algorithm is algorithming and showing me all pirate stuff.
Brilliant. You can have two costumes, mate.
Why not?
Why not? And you mentioned obviously your partner. So you've got a situation where you, like you say, your pay goes into the joint account.
Yes.
How much are you talking with your partner about money, generally speaking?
We do talk a lot about money, actually. Not like it doesn't take over everything, but we've got a spreadsheet with all of our outgoings on it on the computer, so we know what's coming in, what's going out. We were using that a lot more while Artie was at nursery before we had our 3 hours, because of the fluctuation in the amount of days per month. We were making sure that the money was available, and I will just say that nursery costs are diabolical.
Insane.
Yeah, ridiculous. So yeah, we have a spreadsheet of all of our incomings, outgoings, literally everything down to like how much we're spending on shopping, petrol, just to make sure that we're not, cutting ourselves short essentially, and to make sure that we do have money for the things that we want to buy. And we realize that we are still people and we want to have a social life and we want to go and do nice things. So yeah, at the start of this week, we booked 6 System of a Down tickets for next year.
Lovely stuff. And is that spreadsheet led by you or led by your partner?
It's led by Rosh.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've got the anxiety, but she's the one who's sort of pulling the strings when it comes to like organisation.
Yeah. I guess she does sort of like organise. So she organises it's a bit of a weird one. I guess she organises like the mortgage and the household bills, and I have like the phone bills, the TV apps. I do all the stuff for the car. So it is it's still split. But I think what it was as a part of it was that Rosh had a bit more free time than me to make sure that she could arrange all of those bits as well.
Right.
And not just get me to do everything.
Yeah.
So it's team effort.
The money dynamic in relationships is always like so different. Everyone does it differently.
Well, the way we see it, and it is actually something that frustrates me with other couples, is that we're married. It's not my money and her money is not her money. It's our money.
Yeah.
So it's our money, they're our bills, and it's our social life. Like we don't have like a separate allowance or anything like that. If there's a month where Rosh wants to spend more money than me, if she wants to get hair done, nails done, buy a new dress because we've got some weddings coming up, that's fine. Or there might be a month where I'm going on stag do and I spend more money. But it's not that we have £100 each every week or something like that. There's a pot of money there, and if you need or want something, we will discuss it and then you have it.
And you said it annoys you about other couples. What is it that annoys you? What's the scenario in your head? It's like frustrating you.
I don't understand how people can buy a house together, have children together, and not share their money. Like you're in it together, and someone could be earning twice the amount of the other person, but still expect each person to put half in. So if a bill is, let's say a mortgage is £800, both people have to put £400 in. But if all of that money was in that pot, you would then have all the bills go out, and then whatever's left after everything, shopping, petrol, everything, is the money that you each have to use through the month. And it just confuses me that people don't do that.
Yeah.
I just find it really strange.
But do you think you two do it because of your personalities just match in that way? You just both fell into that, or was it a conversation?
It was never a conversation. We just fell into it.
Yeah.
It was never a conversation of, are we going to share our money? It was just, this seems like the most sensible thing to do. We're in this together. It doesn't matter if one person's earning more, one person's earning less. You're a team, and we've always done that, we met when we were 19 and we have grown up together essentially. So maybe there's an element of learning and growing together that just helped us fall into that. But yeah, I just find it strange that there are people in their mid-30s that don't share their money.
So when you're out for a meal with a couple and one of them says to the other, "Oh, you got dinner yesterday, so I'll get dinner tonight," your mind's just blown.
Yeah, because our money will just be like, well, okay, well, we're going to take our portion out of our joint account together and we will pay for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whose card pays for it. The money's coming out of the same account.
Yeah. Yeah. And I often ask people sort of how much do you have money conversations with your parents? And a lot of people kind of gain their money habits things they don't like from their parents. Did you sort of have a lot of conversations with your parents growing up, or absolutely nothing at all?
Absolutely nothing at all. No, yeah, no conversations really. Not any that I could think of.
Nothing from either parent.
No, which is wild actually.
Because I'm very much the same. Just never had any kind of advice on what to do, or like savings, or like, do you kind of wish that there was something there when you were like 18, for example?
Yeah, I genuinely do. I wish there was. I mean, there's a young lad who works for us now, and he's finished his apprenticeship. He's been there 6 years, and he started saving at 18 when he started work, and he's 24 now. He's very open, and he's got nearly 80k in his bank.
Wow.
And he started
6 years.
6 years. He started on £4 an hour, and he saved and saved and saved. And he's 24, and he can probably go and buy a flat by himself and pay most of it off.
Insane.
And maybe he had conversations with his parents. I don't know, but yeah, there was nothing. I think one day I started work, got told I had to pay rent at home, and that was about it.
Lovely. Thanks.
Yeah, I did used to not tell my mum when I got a pay rise though.
Oh, really?
Put my rent up. So.
And what about friends when it comes to talk about money? Like, does it come up much with friends in conversation?
Not often, I don't think. I think, if and when I've had a promotion or a pay rise, I've spoke to my friends about it. I spoke to you about it. And what's nice is everyone's, happy for you, but in terms of actually money management, there's no conversation between friends about that, or none that I've had anyway.
Why do you think that is?
I think because people are very personal about the amount of money they earn.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only reason.
I think that's it.
I think it's just, you just don't want to tell people what you're earning.
For what? For fear of?
I don't know. I mean, I'm very open about it. If someone asks me, I'll tell them. But I think that if you were in that conversation, you're having that conversation with people, they would start feeling weird, especially if you're in a group setting and it's obvious that one person earns way more than everyone else. Is there then social pressure on that person to make sure he buys everyone a round of drinks?
Yeah.
Or the person that doesn't earn as much as anyone else, is it, does he feel like he can't hang around with those people anymore because he doesn't earn as much as them, so he can't afford to go out with them, And I think there's possibly an element of that involved with not talking about money with your friends.
Yeah, makes sense. And we're all British, so
yeah. And we don't talk about anything.
Right, Dan, I'm going to ask you a big one now.
Okay.
What is your biggest money regret?
My biggest money regret. I don't think I have a big one, but I guess so. I got a loan out for a car when I was early 20s sort of thing. And it just took me a few years to pay off, and it just sort of hampered me a bit.
Really?
Yeah, I was paying off like £250 a month. So I guess that was it. But I don't really have any really big money regrets. I've never made like a big stupid buy or big crazy decision with a load of money. You get like the little money regrets, you spent too much on a weekend or something and you get the anxiety. But yeah, I don't really have like a big one that's sat with me for a long time. I genuinely don't.
That's it. And why do you think that is? Because obviously at the start you said you've got this in your brain, this like this urge to sort of spend. What stopped you, do you think, over the years from doing like having a big splurge or something?
Being scared of having no money.
Yeah?
Yeah. So even though I've got the urge to spend it, I also have the urge to, recoil at the thought of spending too much money on something, So I think that's probably why, is just the fear of having nothing afterwards or being locked into something ridiculous, So I'd say that's probably it. Yeah.
The opposite then. Do you have a best investment?
Do I have a best investment?
Yeah. What's the sort of best investment you've made? Best money you've spent?
Oh, my house.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. So we bought our house 6 years ago now. Obviously everyone knows that housing prices have gone ridiculous. We were lucky that we got the house in probate. The guy that was selling it was living abroad. Basically told the estate agent he wanted it gone. So we went in well under budget and he accepted. And I'm 33 and I've got a mortgage of 148k left, and that's it. And if we sold the house tomorrow, we've made about 80k on it.
Wow.
So we don't get me wrong, we got lucky because of what year it was in and the state of the house when we bought it, but we've put money into it. I've redone almost the whole house. With a bit of help from others, but I've done the kitchen, the living room, but put a fireplace in, everything like that, all myself. And like I say, we've made a lot of money on that, and it's just paved the way for us to get our forever home when we decide to move.
That's a no-brainer then. Yeah, because I think a lot of people say the house because it's kind of like, it's the biggest investment people make, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you live in it and it's a roof over your head.
Yeah.
But that's quite a unique circumstance where, like you say, you've kind of got a bit lucky with circumstance.
100%. Yeah. And I don't consider myself a lucky person.
Generally?
No. But yeah, I'd say that's easily the best investment we've ever made. Yeah.
Let's talk about work then, Dan. Did you choose the passion or choose the money?
I didn't choose either.
Right.
So when school finished, I hadn't even applied for a college. And it was 2 weeks before college started, and my dad took me down to a woodworking college, and I went there for 2 years. I then started looking for an apprenticeship and joined a different college that helped, put people on the right path to an apprenticeship. I got sent for an interview and got the apprenticeship and started there. And after that, I have worked in the same place ever since. And I just kind of fell into it, if I'm honest.
So, but obviously that first move happened, right? Where you're, like you say, your dad took you to this woodworking college.
Yeah.
Was it pressure from him, just like you need to go and do something?
Yeah, it was, you have to do something. You're not going to be a bum.
Right, yeah.
And that was it. It's like, you're not going to bum around. You're doing something after school. And yeah, that was it.
And why was it woodworking? Was it just something that you'd seen or he'd seen?
So my granddad was a carpenter.
Right.
And has been a carpenter all his life. And I used to do little things with him in his garage and stuff like that. And maybe there was an element of, he might be good at that.
Okay.
So perhaps that's why, very easily could have gone down the engineering route or something like that. But yeah, I just fell into marine woodwork, sorry. So
that's
yeah.
mad story. Because obviously how people get into work is different, for everyone in all kinds of manners of ways.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you were on a course to, as your dad would say, being a bum.
Yeah.
And he kind of just took you this other route.
Yeah. And I do enjoy my work and I do enjoy my job. And I have managed to progress quite far over the 15 years I've been there.
And it was quite an anomaly for someone these days to stay somewhere from school.
Yeah.
15 years, like you say.
Yeah.
Do you feel sort of happy about that, proud of that? Or you sort of feel like you missed out?
I feel proud about it. I don't feel like I've missed out. I feel like there could be other things to see.
Yeah.
But also I am really happy where I work. And, there are some old boys at work that will say to me, oh, you've never been anywhere else. You don't know anything any different. I say to them, but why do I need to? What else do I need to know? I don't need to go and work somewhere else to know that the boss over there isn't a nice person.
Yeah.
That's not going to make me a better person, is it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoy it.
All right, scenario for you now, Dan. Your boss calls you up tomorrow and says, you've been doing some great work this year, Dan. Lovely stuff. Here's £1,000 bonus. It's in your bank account now. Bang. Where does your mind go? You've got £1,000 now. What are you doing with that money? And don't think about it. I just want the reflex reaction.
Okay. Booking a holiday abroad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Booking a holiday abroad is something that we haven't done in a long time. Since our honeymoon. And we don't count going to Ireland to see family. And I would spend that £1,000 on booking a holiday abroad to take Rosh and Artie abroad somewhere.
No regrets.
Yeah, no regrets.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's interesting when people answer for that. You get a very weird mix because obviously you have sort of spoken quite a bit about like you don't put your money in your like main account and like everything goes in the joint and stuff like that. Is sort of where does saving sit for you, kind of on a monthly basis, yearly basis?
So people it's very hard to save when you've got a toddler. So at the moment, we don't have any savings. We did before he started nursery. And then no one will tell you this, but if you join before the term starts, even though he's at the age for 3 hours, you don't get those until the next term. So for 2 months, we had to pay full nursery costs, which wiped out a lot of our savings. So he went for 2 days 1 week, then 1 day the week after, so alternate. And for 2 months, that took nearly £1,300
Wow.
of our savings away. Then the month after, our washing machine broke, so we had to buy a new one of those. And then there was just like a meandering of stuff that just happened that just completely wiped out our savings, and we haven't managed to get back to a saving point now. We've just had our pay date changed at work, which means I've gone 6 weeks without wages as well. But once that all comes into effect, because we've got our spreadsheet at home, we've worked out incomings, outgoings, and paydays and whatnot, we're going to be in a much better position to pay things off and save at the same time.
Nice.
Because it feels really weird, because at the moment, me and Rosh get paid 5 days apart. In the next time we start getting paid, there is a 2-week gap. So I get paid 2 weeks later, she gets paid 2 weeks later, I get paid. And in a weird way, that seems much more comforting than having that big ball of money put in there in one go and then saying, right, now you've got to last another 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Because where I've gone freelance, my money's like random stuff comes in at random times. And it's kind of nice because it's like there's like a constant flow of money coming in, like you say, rather than like the big lump.
Yeah. So
I guess you feel a bit like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it feels. And I mean, I've always worked like that ever since I started working, big lump, manage it for a month, and you get to sort of like 3 days before you get paid and you're like, oh, I could do it getting paid now. You're putting £10 in the car instead of filling it up.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is going to be much more manageable. And it's not like we have so much going out that, we can't afford anything. When I get paid, less than half of my wages cover all of our bills.
Right.
So,
which is a nice place to be, right?
It's a really nice place to be, but there are still times when you think to yourself, God, Christ, are we going to make it till I get paid? And it's not like we're going out, every weekend and doing this, that, and the other, but it's like little things just add up. And then before you know it, there's £100 gone.
Yeah.
You haven't actually brought anything. You got nothing to show for it. So yeah, I think this new sort of like pay structure is going to help us sort of like, be able to save and move on from that.
A lot of people blame the weekly shop, which has seemed to have gone up a mad amount, even just this year, frankly, in the last 8 months or so.
Yeah.
So let's go to the shop. It's the weekly shop. Where do you go out of interest?
Tesco's,
yeah.
Yeah.
Lifelong Tesco shopper?
Grew up in Basildon.
Yeah. What are you thinking when you're going around the aisles? Are you kind of just blindly going, oh yeah, we'll have sandwiches, I'll grab some bread, oh yeah, I'll grab some of this? Are you going into like intense detail of like, hang on a second, that bread's like 10p cheaper than the other bread that we normally get, let's get that? Sort of how detailed are you going when you're shopping?
So, no, not that detailed. Obviously, shopping Tesco's, you get your club card.
Yeah.
So I will look and see if there is the same product on a club card price. If I'm buying chorizo sausage and the one next to it's club card and it's £2 off, I'll grab that because why wouldn't you?
No brainer.
And same with other bits, but it's not like I'm looking at things to make sure I get the most value out of certain pieces. Don't want to like scrimp on things just for the sake of it. Like, we can afford it, so if we want to get a bottle of wine, let's get a bottle of wine. If we want to get a cheesecake, let's buy a cheesecake. So I don't think we want to be in a position where we're scrimping and scraping just for the sake of it, just for the sake of saving 20 quid at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So.
And are you a yellow sticker warrior?
A yellow sticker warrior?
Yeah, you sort of looking out for the yellow stickers and sort of...
I mean, to be fair, if there's a bottle of Bailey's on offer, we're getting that.
Yeah.
Bonkers that it can be £21 all year and then £8 at Christmas.
Very interesting, right? Stock up.
Yeah, facts.
Absolute facts. Now, we have the Psychology of Money book. We were talking about this a little bit before. You've not read it.
I have not, no.
Which means I can wow you with some amazing content from there.
Okay.
But there's a concept in the book which I call the man in the car paradox. He might call it in the book. I might have stolen from it for that.
Okay.
But I think it's called man in the car.
I believe you.
Okay, thanks, mate. Where the author basically used to work as like a car porter at a hotel in America.
Okay.
And used to see all these cool cars coming in, Porsches and Lamborghinis and stuff. And he obviously got to park them. He used to think, oh, they're so cool. And he'd look at them and think, that car is amazing. Would never think about the driver. But obviously, the people driving these cars are buying them to look cool.
Yes.
So it's this whole paradox of like, everyone loves the thing, never thinking about the person behind it. How much are you sort of trapped by that? Are you ever buying things to sort of show off in that way? Or does that not even cross your mind?
I mean, the shoes I've got on now are from Temu.
Right.
I do not care.
Answer explained.
Yeah, I do not care. I mean, I guess there was an age where I thought I wanted to buy a BMW and I brought a BMW. I mean, you remember my 3 Series. It's pretty cool. Then the water pump went and the head gasket went and I realized, what the hell am I spending my money on? Yeah. And I got Ford. Yeah. I'm not overly fussed on making sure that I look cool, more about practical. I mean, if something looks cool and I get it anyway, it's not to impress anyone else, just because I think it looks nice, So yeah, I don't think if I had loads of money, I would probably buy a more expensive car. Yeah. But it wouldn't be a Lamborghini or something like that. It'd be something practical, And
do you think that's the sort of coming of age thing? Like you say, you've sort of done the BMW thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Give me a nice big SUV. Yeah. And get the dog and the kid in there.
And there's also an interesting concept in the book about millionaires, right? Okay. Where he says, everyone says they want to be a millionaire. But you ask someone what they do with £1 million and they say, oh, I'll go on holiday and I'll buy a bigger house and I'll buy a car. So actually what people want to do is spend £1 million. They don't want to be a millionaire, which is having £1 million. Where do you sort of sit on that? If you get $1 million, are you just going, I'm buying the stuff? Or are you going, actually, no, I'm going to sort of, I don't know, maybe invest or put it in stocks and shares?
I think if I was given £1 million, obviously I would look to invest in some way. I don't know how that is. I don't know anything about it. But it's quite funny because I had a conversation at work the other day and someone said, oh, what would you do if you won the lottery? Or, people going around saying, oh, if I won the lottery, I'd take everyone on holiday and I'd do this, give people this amount of money. And I said, like, if someone won the lottery and wanted to give me a load of money, I would genuinely turn around to them and say, look, just pay my mortgage off. That's all I want. Like, so many people could live so much more comfortably if they just didn't have a mortgage. I don't need someone to give me £10 million, but you get rid of my mortgage and my monthly mortgage payments, I live a completely different lifestyle, So, like I say, if I got given £1 million, I would pay my house off, probably buy a second house, or maybe even buy 2 houses with it and rent them out or something. I wouldn't go straight to a dealership and buy a £300,000 car or, go on a jet around the world for no reason. I'd try and be more practical with it and see how it would look after me almost, Yeah,
because you could effectively just not work
exactly
for X number of years, right? Or forever.
Exactly.
If you play it right.
Yeah.
The investing thing is an interesting one because you just said then you just don't know, you don't have any clue about investing. And I'm very much in the same boat of, we're just not toward it, right?
No, not at all. No.
But there's quite a big push for people to be doing it a bit more now.
Yes.
Have you thought about it? Have you explored it at all? Is your partner?
I mean, my partner hasn't. I mean, I think most people have probably downloaded Trading 212, looked at it and gone, bloody hell, what does this mean? I've done it. Right. Loads of the guys at work have done it and gone, God, there's guys at work that have started investing in McDonald's and they're losing money. It's like, you're investing in McDonald's because you like eating McDonald's, not because they're going to make money, Also, if you're investing in McDonald's and you're spending your money at McDonald's, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's one of those, you're not taught it, but you do hear these stories of these people that just learn it on their own. And they end up making so much money. But I think it's one of those that if you want to make money from it in the short term, you have to commit your time to it. from what I've heard, making small trades and whatnot, but I honestly have no clue about it.
And have you got no interest as well? You just sort of never want to get into it, or you think you should?
I don't think it's a case of not having any interest. I just feel like I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to commit to learning it.
Right.
You know? So I think if I had the time, it'd be something I'd look at. But until that comes, I think I'm just going to watch other people get rich.
And beg for some money.
Yeah. Beg them to pay my mortgage off.
Yeah. Right. Deep question for you, Dan. If you could have one money conversation with someone else that would improve your life the most, what would that conversation be, and who would it be with?
Oh, that would improve my life the most. Do you mean like that conversation today or any point during my life?
Up to you. If you can think about it in the past, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, yeah. So probably would have been with my mum before I moved out for the first time. So she took out a load of credit in my name,
right?
When I was younger, which I didn't know was the easiest thing to do, but apparently it is. I got told by the companies that started contacting me that it happens more often than you'd believe. And I would have a conversation with her before she started doing that, because it gave me an awful credit score for, well, I think it's 7 years from the last payment being made till it comes off, but these were defaults on my account for 3 or 4 years. So when I went to move out, it came to light because I was getting a load of letters about all this stuff that I owed, you know, and somewhere in the region of like 5 or 6 grand. And yeah, it just put a massive hindrance on anything. Even when we came to get our mortgage after me being moved out for 4 years, we still had to go on it's not a really high rate, but it was a high rate at the time. When the rates were down at like 1.2%, we were put straight onto a mortgage of about 5.5%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
First house, first time buyers. And yeah, it was still coming back to haunt me then. I mean, technically it still comes back to haunt me now because I still can't get a credit card in my name.
How many years has it been there?
So I moved out when I was 21, so it's been 12 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
So what would that conversation be?
That conversation would be to stop your spending habits, because it was nothing more than clothes that she never wore, all of that sort of stuff. It would just be, you know, this weird like consumer attitude for no reason. Just be like, look, you don't need to spend this money. It's not your money. Don't do it, you know? And then we can look at other ways for you to manage everything. So,
and is that relationship kind of been patched up over the years?
It has.
I imagine it would have taken a hit at the time.
It took a massive hit at the time. Massive sort of like hole in my trust sort of thing. And I'll be honest, one of the things that's really helped patch that relationship up was when Rosh got pregnant. Because there was no part of me that was going to stop her seeing her grandchild. And from that, we've built off that. So
nice. Yeah. The power of a baby's face, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good lad.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Right, now, Dan, this is strictly, it's not an advice podcast, as you know.
Yes.
But I do ask everyone to offer just one golden piece of money advice that they would share with other people. From your life experience, really, what is that one piece of golden money advice you'd share to others?
So I wish someone had said this to me, but it would have been to start saving younger. And not through any other reason that you don't know what the money climate's going to be like by the time you want to buy a house, by the time you want to buy a car. And if you've got that safety net under you, then you almost have nothing to worry about. So, yeah.
Yeah. Be like the guy at your work, right?
Yeah. Be like Aiden.
Yeah. That's your advice. Oh, Dan, it's been so interesting to hear you come in at the start and talk about how, you know, you've got these mechanisms you put in place where you put all your money in the joint, you have nothing in like your personal account, as much as possible to avoid spending it.
Yeah.
Actually, you've got quite a seemingly healthy money relationship all in. Like it's almost like you don't need to do that because you're minded to keep the money there.
Yeah. I think you're probably right, but then I think, you know, the anxiety over it would mean that if we broke that, would something fall out of place?
Yeah.
So if we didn't have this system in place, even though we are minded the way we are, would it fall apart?
Yeah. Okay. So it's still there's that level of anxiety there that's just
100%
keeping you in check.
100%. I've always been a little bit anxious.
Yeah. Dan, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
It's great.